Welcome back to the Keiser Report. I came across a website a few weeks ago, absolute must viewing. It's called StopSpeculators.gr, as in Greece. Time now to go to Athens, Greece, to talk with Dr. Kyriakos Tobras of StopSpeculators.gr. Dr. Kyriakos, welcome to the Keiser Report.
Hello, how are you?
Very good. Doctor, tell us about your campaign, StopSpeculators.gr.
This campaign started on April of 2010, this year. After we start experiencing here in Greece what was the result of the speculation on our government bonds, pushing the spreads of our government bonds in very, very, very high figures. And that was impossible for Greece to continue the government lending problem. And this is why our government was stretched to follow the IMF and the European Union bailout. This is the reason that we did and we start this action, because that was not a simple speculation process. We didn't do that because we are against simple speculation, because as you know very well, speculation is the reason that markets exist. We did that because that was a real organized criminal plan with the intent to manipulate the whole Greek economy, to manipulate the country through the manipulation of the government bonds market and of the government lending. So for all these reasons, we start this campaign on April 2010. And for the moment, this fraud charge, what we started, it is still under investigation process in the prosecutor of the Court of Athens.
Okay, so just to be clear, the bond traders have done to Greece what they've done to other countries and what they do to corporations all the time. They use the bond market as a financial weapon to destabilize and to destroy, in this case, a country, Greece. They sell the Greek bonds in a way that is not only ill-served in terms of any financial purpose, but we also know that they sell what are called naked short sales. This is a form of counterfeiting, so that the banks essentially are selling counterfeit bonds purposefully to destabilize the country. I remember back in World War II, countries would counterfeit each other's currencies as a way to destabilize other countries. Now, the IMF and the banks on Wall Street in the City of London counterfeit bonds, Greek bonds. They sell these counterfeit bonds in the market to destabilize the country. Is it difficult to get the population to understand that they're being attacked by financial terrorists?
Exactly. The real term, it is exactly what you said, financial terrorism. This is exactly what happened here in Greece and what will happen in the rest of the European countries. Don't believe that only in Greece is the problem. Greece was just the first victim of this game, which now will be, to that will follow all the other European countries. It is very difficult to explain that to the people here, you understand, because this has very, very complicated financial things that ordinary people, they cannot even understand because they don't have the knowledge even to understand. But I could explain you in very simple words what exactly happened here. On January, when the first crisis started here in Greece, some institutions who have their head offices in London, they start trading on naked CDS on Greek government bonds. In the same time that they were trading on naked CDS with the result to increase the spreads of our bonds, in the same time they was doing a very, very dirty game with the short selling of the government bonds here in Greece. That means they did both the things together and in the same time. From one side, they were trading with naked CDS, increasing the spreads of our bonds, and from the other side, they was creating an artificial offer of bonds in the international market with the short selling of the existing bonds of the market. What was the result? That until January 2010, the short sellers, they was obliged by the Greek law to close positions in 3 days. And if they didn't close position in 3 days, they start paying penalties on that. This term was brought from 3 days to 10 days. And these speculators were facilitated by the Central Bank of Greece to keep position open for 10 days and for more than 10 days and without to pay any penalty about that. What was the result? The result was that after 1 month, every day there were naked CDS to increase our spreads and a lot of bonds offered in the international markets because of the short selling of our bonds. That brought the result to create an artificial offer of Greek bonds without a demand to be with the capacity to absorb all this artificial offer, with the result that the government, when arrived in the point to make auctions for the new bonds, to don't find any buyer for that. What is the criminal side of the topic? The criminal side is that the same persons, the same institutions, and the same funds who were and they are still prime dealers of the Greek government bonds. That means that they have contracts with the Greek government for the promotion of the Greek bonds in the international markets. The same persons and the same institutions, in the same time, they were the issuers of the naked CDS, and they were the same persons who they were short selling the Greek bonds in the international market. This is the point of the situations, and this is why we say that all that was a criminal plan, well organized and internationally supported, because these people, they could never do that in the international markets if the Standard & Poor's, the Moody's, and the Fitch, they were not helping them with the reports that they were publishing every day in this period of these 4 months, claiming that Greece is going in the bankruptcy. Every day the Greek bankruptcy was the first news on the international news all around the world. This helped and facilitated this game because they found how to do that, supporting that with wrong information. What happened here in Greece? Don't think that is different from what is happening to the other countries of the European Union. That means the debt crisis that we have in Greece today and the deficit crisis that our economies have is not something that regards only Greece. This is a global problem, and this regards all European countries. All European economies have the same problem. The point it is that they start doing this game here because the market is very small and it was very easy to manipulate this market. And after they manipulate this market, they used Greece like experiment. They create the formula on how to manipulate the rest of the European markets. And now you see that after 3-4 months, they start making the same game in Ireland, but with different actions because Irish problem is different than the Greek problem, but the concept is the same. How they manipulate the Greek market, now in the same way, the same persons, the same institutions, the same banks, they are manipulating the Irish market, and then they will do that with Portugal, then with Spain, and then with Italy. This is the game. The game is global, and it regards all of us. This is not just a Greek problem limited to the Greek economy or to the Greek population, to the Greek citizens, or to the Greek taxpayers. All the European taxpayers will pay the crisis because the crisis is not of the system, is not of the economies, the crisis is of the banks because they managed in a very, very bad way their assets. And now all of us in the European Union, all the citizens and the taxpayers, we are called to pay the crisis of the banks.
Okay, Dr. Tobras, I hope everyone in Greece replays and watches what you just said for the previous few minutes, because it is quite a well-articulated encapsulation of exactly what's been going on in Greece and around Europe. Now, let me just fill in some of the terms here. for CDS or naked CDS, you're talking about a credit default swap, which is an invention of Blythe Masters over there at J.P. Morgan, a known financial terrorist. The credit default swap was sold as an insurance product, but it's actually a fake insurance product because to have an adequate qualification as an insurance product, you must have some reserve in the bank to reserve against, which doesn't exist with a CDS. It's an invention purely to create financial terrorism. And as you point out, and this is one of the points that I think needs to be made here, people ask, well, why would the banks destroy a country like Greece? Why would they use these fraudulent counterfeit products like CDS and naked short selling? Because they have, as you point out, bets on the collapse of Greece. So as the collapse of Greece ensues, as the collapse of Ireland continues, the return on their bets that they've made in these international markets increases spectacularly.
CDS is fake insurance. The people need to understand that, because to have an insurance product, you need an insurance company to issue an insurance contract. And I ask you, did you ever saw any CDS contract? What is the form that it has? It is a form of a legal insurance policy. No. This is the main reason why CDS is not insurance. This is first thing. A second thing, let's go to see who are the issuers of the CDS. They speak about insurance policies that somebody is betting that Greece or some other country will go in bankruptcy, and they promise billions to the people who they buy this contract. The question is one, and it is very simple. If Greece tomorrow morning really will go in bankruptcy, do these issuers of the CDS, do they have the money to pay the people who they bought these contracts? You know what is the answer? No, they don't have. They are bluffing, because CDS is a financial bluff. It is fake insurance. It is just betting. It is clandestine betting, and they don't have the funds and the solvability to pay these bets if default will really happen.
Okay, Dr. Tabras, we have to leave it there. Thanks so much for being on the Keiser Report.
Thank you to support our action. Thank you.
And that's going to do it for this edition of the Keiser Report with me, Max Keiser, and Stacy Herbert. I want to thank my guest, Dr. Kyriakos Tabras. His website is StopSpeculators.gr. If you want to send me an email, you can do so at keiserreport@rttv.ru. Until next time, this is Max Keiser saying bye, y'all.